to Cooking with Keith. Today we're going to be doing a pasta della nonna, specifically Fusilli Della Nonna, the corkscrew pasta. And Della Nonna simply means of the grandmother, so pasta is of the grandmother. And so depending on which grandmother you have, you can have it any which. You could have all sorts of varieties of pasta, but it basically is kind of means down home, grandma style. So I've seen recipes with ground beef and peas, and typically most of them have cream. So it's a little bit of a rich dish, but it's a delicious dish, and we're going to be enhancing it with blue cheese and grilled chicken breast that we're going to marinate with rosemary and garlic, a little salt and pepper. We'll sear it off, and in the meantime we'll be cooking our pasta. So I've weighed out, this is going to be one person serving right now, just to show the recipe. So we're going to get that going. We'll put a little salt in our water. It's boiling away, and we'll drop that in. Give it a little shake. So the one person serving is 100 grams dry pasta, which should equate to about 190 to 200 grams cooked pasta. So we will start with marinating our chicken breast. And we will, not as much marinating it, but getting it in touch with the rosemary and the garlic, and we're going to do some fresh ground pepper. We're going to strip some rosemary leaves off the stem and get the base of them off so it's not very fibrous, too fibrous, and we'll just give it a light chop. We'll put a little bit on one side and a little bit on the other. We have a couple of cloves of garlic that we'll just do a nice slice. We'll run through it just a little bit, a little smaller, more contact with the chicken. And we'll simply put a little bit on there. I'm going to put a little extra virgin olive oil. We will turn this over, do the same thing on the other side. Touch of salt, ground pepper. We'll put the rest of the rosemary and garlic. And if you're making this at home, a good idea would be to just simply get it to that stage and put a little cling film over it, put it in the fridge, and let it marinate let it kind of develop flavors, contact with each other. Maybe 2 hours would be, if you have that time, it'd be great to really have it, the flavors penetrate the meat. And we'll bring on another clean board. And we have our pan on a low heat, but it's been heating for about 5 minutes, so it should be perfect to get the chicken in. And we will gently pick this up and lay it in. Keep this here for our tongs. In the meantime, we're going to slice a red onion. It's going to have a little bit of sliced onion. We're going to start it off in the pan. So we're going to get a little chop of this, just slice the slivers across. So we'll just do like this. And when you get about halfway, you can turn it over and finish it up. And there we have it. And we'll wait for this to cook. About halfway through, we'll turn it over. And this pasta will take about 9 minutes to cook. So we were going to go ahead and turn this chicken breast over. Looks like it's cooking nicely, getting nice and brown. Nice color on there. And while that's finishing, I'm going to get another pan and get it ready to cook the condimento all together. So now that the chicken breast has been cooking about 5 minutes, I can feel it's a little bit rare in the middle still, but for this dish, it's actually what you want, especially if you're going to be making it straight away. So we're going to take this, we're going to turn the fire off, we're going to rest this on the right, and we'll change pans, and we'll get a saute pan here, and we'll start letting that get warm. And we'll get our onions staged, ready to go. And so we're going to be sauteing the onions in olive oil. And then after they get nice and soft, we're going to add white wine and let that simmer together and develop flavor. And then after that, we will have our chicken breast that we will cut into strips, and it'll be rare in the middle, you'll see. But then we're going to put it in the hot, bubbling cream. And then we're at the very end, when that is cooked through, we're going to add the blue cheese and a little bit of Parmesan to finish off the dish, and it should be really delicious. So now that our pan looks like it's nice and hot, we're going to add the extra virgin olive oil. And that's perfect temperature, I can see. And we'll get those onions in. We'll put a little bit of sea salt. We'll let that kind of get happy for about a minute or so. We'll check on our pasta over here. It's getting close. And now that it's been a minute or two, about 2 minutes cooking the red onions, you can see they're not completely jammy, but we don't need them to be completely broken down. We just need them to be at this stage. And we're going to add a little bit of white wine. That's about maybe a half cup. We'll swirl that around. We'll let the wine evaporate. And next we're going to add the cream. We've got about a cup of cream here. This is a rich dish, but it's a great dish to actually share. If you're really hungry, you can eat the whole thing. You could have split a salad or have a salad each and then split this. Be a great meal for a cool night. And now we'll put a little bit of fresh ground pepper and clean up our board a little. And we will slice our chicken breast. I'm going to go a little bit against the grain here and slice it in thin strips so that it can cook through very easily and finish the cooking process. The reason I don't cook it all the way right before I put it in the pasta pan is it's going to keep cooking. So I guess you could just put it right on top if it's fully cooked and it wouldn't cook too much more. But I like this dish to have the chicken inside of the pasta, so if you're getting to this stage and you throw your fully cooked chicken in, it's just going to cook beyond well done, and it's going to be maybe turn a little tough. So now we're going to put this in and spread it around. We obviously don't want to leave pink underdone pieces of chicken to be served, so you want to make sure and get contact with the hot cream. And we'll stir it around. I can tell it's already starting to get cooked through. So you want to let this simmer about 3 to 4 minutes. I've checked it again. I'm going to check it again to make sure it's cooked through, that the chicken is cooked through. And it's going pretty well. So I think it's the time to add the blue cheese. So you can put as much or as little as you like. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons actually. And I'm using today Roquefort. But you can easily use, since this is more of an Italian pasta dish, you can easily use Gorgonzola. But we have a Roquefort and endive salad on our menu pretty much all the time for the last few months and going forward. So we have beautiful Roquefort, and you can use pretty much any good quality blue cheese, but a Roquefort is generally considered one of the top blue cheeses in the world, so we're using that. I don't want it to be breaking down too much. I'm going to turn it down into a very low flame. Just let it finish off and come together. So in a way, it's almost like a blue cheese Alfredo. It's got those lovely, the zing of the red onions and the garlic and the rosemary. So it's a great combination of flavors. And I believe our pasta is done now. Yes, it is. So we will just simply bring that over. We might put just a little bit of cooking water. Get those starches in there, and we'll start kind of bringing it together. Now that we've added the pasta, I'll turn the heat up just a little bit more, and I might put just a little bit more. We're going to have to bring a ladle, so I'm just going to put a little bit of more of the pasta cooking water in there. Got those nice starchy strands in there in the water, and it really makes a nice velvety sauce after it cooks for a bit or so. And I'm going to add Parmesan, but I'm going to wait until the fire is off. And then we'll just simply plate it up. It should be delicious. And now we're going to get ready to plate. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to turn the fire off, and we'll shower this with Parmesan Reggiano. I'm going to give it a little toss. Get it together, and now we're going to plate. So this is one serving, but it's a large serving. You can see that it takes up a full dinner plate. So it's a good one to share. And then lastly, we'll just simply put a little more Parmesan over the top. Nice shower all around. And then I have a little bit of some finely chopped chives. It has a nice little onion flavor, the chive flavor. And we're going to put that all over. And lastly, I'm going to put a little more cracked pepper. I just love cracked pepper. It really goes well with the cream. And we're going to give it a go. Cool off for just a second so it doesn't scald my mouth. Really good. Of course, very hot, but a great combination. I love the zing of the red onions and the rosemary together, counterbalancing the creamy chicken sauce, and it's just a lovely combination. And the fusilli is a fun pasta to use for this dish. And so again, I really tried to do an al dente preparation of the fusilli, so that's why it was 9 minutes instead of 11. The package I had said 11. So when we took it out, we put it in the pasta dish, and it finished cooking in the cream sauce. And one of the things I wanted to note is the blue cheese mixing with the cream and the other components in there. It gives a lovely, deep umami flavor that is really unique to this dish. Without the blue cheese, it would basically be a cream sauce. With the blue cheese, it turns into something altogether differently and much higher level. Taste-wise, it has a depth of flavor that is really astounding. If you don't really hate blue cheese and you're kind of on the fence, give this a try. It might be the way to start liking blue cheese. It could be an avenue for success for loving blue cheese, actually. So give it a go. This is so delicious, and this would pair really, really well with a white, crisp Italian wine. Maybe agave d'agave would be just a lovely combination. That blue cheese and the cream, it's just a lovely combination. So there you have it. Fusilli Della Nonna, Valeria style. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Leave any comments below for any questions you want answered. The rest will be listed down below. Again, buon appetito. Thank you for joining us. Splendid.